Are you ready for the ultimate bikepacking weekend adventure? Join us for an unforgettable self-supported bikepacking trip through Southwest Virginia. The Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure travels along the Virginia Creeper Trail, the beautiful gravel roads of Grayson County, Virginia, and the New River Trail. All lodging and camping arrangements are included, along with daily routes and guides riding along with you. This self-supported adventure offers resupply opportunities every 20 miles for your food and water needs. Find out more at graveltraveldirt.com.
You're listening to Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt.
I'm Brian. Wait a minute, Joey's not here. I'm waiting for Joey to say he's here. Joey's not with us this week for episode 249 of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. He is sort of under the gun for the next couple of weeks with some staffing shortages. So it may be just me for a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. Folks, if you're new here, this is the podcast where we talk about gravel bikes, adventure biking, bikepacking, bike camping, routine conversations about Pennsylvania and the gravel scene in Pennsylvania, or just playing bikes. Joining us a little later is Ben from Michaux Gravel up in Michaux State Forest in south central Pennsylvania, and we spend some time talking about the Michaux Gravel event, whose registration opens today. If you're listening to this on Thursday the 15th, registration is open today, and it's a smaller event, 250 people cap on the registration, so you make sure you want to get on it quickly and dive in there. It's in mid-September. The dates are a little bit later. Make sure to check out the show notes for information on how you can get to Michaux Gravel to register for it. While you're there in the show notes, make sure to check out the discount codes and use them if you need any of those things that you might need. So what's going on here at Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt? Probably the big two things right now. Pennsylvania Gravel event that we're doing, the 2 weekends that we're doing in late May and early June. The first one being the Dirty Kitten collaboration with Alex on the women's weekend for the first weekend. And then we're doing the collaboration with Travis over at Grusk on the second weekend. You definitely want to check those out. I think they're filling up pretty quickly. We've had a tremendous amount of interest. And not only that, but it's mid-February and the early bird pricing closes at the end of February. So March 1st, prices are going to jump up a little bit. They don't jump up a lot. We still think it's a great value for what you get. You get 5 days and 4 nights, 4 days of riding, catered dinners, provided breakfasts and lunches in a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous lodge. So we're doing that base camp for both of those weekends. And I am super, super excited about them. So make sure you go over to the website, Gravel Travel Dirt, and check that out. While you're there, under gravel trips, also make sure you check out Grayson Gravel Pie Bikepacking Adventure that we're doing the first weekend in May. We're going to go down to Abingdon, Virginia, and we are going to ride the Virginia Creeper Trail all the way up to White Top. We're then going to head over to Independence through the back gravel roads of Southwest Virginia, Grayson County. And then from Independence, we're going to go into Foster Falls, do another night of camping. And when we're in Independence, we're in a hotel. We're in a hotel for the night in Independence, camping again at Foster Falls, and then we're going to finish up in Pulaski. So that's 4 days and 3 nights. And we've got a shuttle service that's going to grab you, your bike, your gear. Everybody jumps in the shuttle, loads everything up, and then we get shuttled back to Abington where we started. We're going to ride the entirety of the Virginia Creeper Trail, the entirety of the New River State Park Trail, which follows the New River from Freeze all the way up to Pulaski. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous gravel roads. And, sometimes when people hear trails, they think it's not quite as rugged. They think about it from a bikepacking perspective. But when you climb the Virginia Creeper from Damascus up to White Top, that ain't no joke. You got 18 miles and probably about 1,200, 1,600 feet of elevation in that 18 miles, and it is all the way up. It's a nice 18-mile climb. And then our second day is the big day. We've got 55 miles and 5,500 feet of elevation. So that's a big day, but it's great because we end into Independence. So we've got some great things happening this spring with the Pennsylvania Gravel Weekends, the Grayson Gravel event. There's only 9 spots available still for Grayson Gravel, so you're going to want to jump on that. Only $300. And that includes your round trip shuttle service plus all the lodging. So make sure you jump on that. Also, want to plug you into what's going on with our merino jerseys. That shop is still open over at Cutaway. So we're doing some merino wool jerseys, tech tees. They're not jerseys. I should correct that. They're tech tees in a nice orange color. Nothing but our logo on them. So very simple, very plain. Paired with a set of the cargo bibs that Philip does. They are going to have the orange skyline that we did in the original skyline jersey. And so that set of bibs is going to either work with that merino tech tee, it'll work with the original jersey. We believe that color is going to be close enough to even work with the jersey that's our topo lines, the green topo lines. So make sure to check that out. I believe there's a link on the Facebook page. One more item this week. I want to give huge congratulations to Celine Yeager on her induction into the Gravel Cycling Hall of Fame. It's well-deserved recognition of her contribution and impact on the sport. Celine has been a constant presence in the gravel scene and an advocate and a coach and a podcaster and somebody that has really had an impact. Congratulations, Celine. It's really, really well-deserved, and we appreciate all that you have done and will continue to do into the future. Looking at Strava Club, top 100 random rider shout-outs. Chris Summerlin from Greensboro, North Carolina, with 159.3 miles. Congratulations, Chris. Good job, big miles. Sean Scott from Crystal Falls, Michigan, with 246.8. Them some big miles for Michigan right now this time of the year. Good job, Sean. Lindsay O'Connor from Lexington, Kentucky, with 130 on the dot. To break into the top 100 for the week, you needed 124.7 miles. That's off just a little bit. I think it's 125 and change last week. So spring is springing, especially through the south. We're starting to see it. We're starting to feel it. That little pep in the step. The days are getting longer. Flowers are starting to bud. It won't be long, I think, before we start hearing the spring peepers. I'm pretty excited about that. It's always, for me, that's the demarcation point where spring has officially arrived. Strava Club is up to 960 members. That is growing every week now. So keep doing it. Keep whatever y'all are doing out there, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it because it's fantastic. If you want to find out more about the Strava Club, you go over to Strava, search for Gravel Travel Dirt, or you can go to strava.com/clubs/gravel travel dirt. Now sit back, listen, and enjoy this conversation with Ben from Michaux Gravel. It's going to be one that you're not going to want to miss. Hey, folks, joining us now is Ben Kutil, who is the event director of Michaux Gravel. Ben, I probably should have confirmed that. Are you the actual event director?
I'm actually not the event director.
Okay.
I'm one of the volunteers, along with two others that I can introduce to.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's great to have you join us to talk about Michaux Gravel. Now, I've said that right, haven't I, Michaux?
Yep, you got that part right.
I
Yep.
know that early in the podcast, going back 4 or 5 years, I know that Wes used to always muck up that name. And it's like we have learned so much about how to pronounce Pennsylvania towns and place names. And I feel very accomplished in that, quite honestly. So, Ben,
I mean, I still get Lancaster wrong, so I can feel you on that for sure.
You know what it is? I've gotten that one so entrenched that I actually picture it in my mind as I say it, Lancaster. It comes out very awkward, I'm sure, but I actually have to picture it because our friends in Lancaster are so dear to us that I want to make sure that I get it absolutely correct. And it's interesting, Pennsylvania is our biggest market. I don't know if anybody knew that, but we've just recently changed our podcasting host. I'm getting much more detailed statistics on locations. Pennsylvania literally blows every other state out of the water for our listenership. So we will now totally and completely cater to Pennsylvania. And we actually may change the name to Pennsylvania Gravel Travel and Dirt. I don't know. We're still in consideration. So, Ben, where are you calling us from today?
Sure. I'm calling from a small town in Pennsylvania called Newville. It's about 1,500 people, and we're about 15 minutes away from the base of Michaux.
Okay.
So great place to be for riding.
Now, Michaux is sort of south central, if I'm got my geography right. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right. It's splits a couple of counties in Franklin and Cumberland County,
Mhm.
and yeah, real close to Maryland, and easy to get to, even where you all are as well. So
I was
come
looking
on
at
up
it.
and ride.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It's like it's less than 3 hours um, to get to. I mean, for what I just Googled Michaux State Forest, and I don't know where the entry point was, but wherever it was, and it probably gave me something about in the middle for us. It was less than 3 hours, so I'm not exactly sure what our problem is and why we haven't gotten there yet. But I swear this year I'm going to correct that and make it a priority. Um, what's it like being a cyclist in a town that small?
Yeah, well, it's great. I moved up here 7 years ago from Baltimore,
Okay.
right in the city, and I'm surrounded by farm fields
Mhm.
and Mennonite buggies. So my biggest traffic is trying to avoid the Sunday morning peloton of Mennonite
Yeah.
kids going to church and their buggies, or the tractors pulling, this time of year, pulling their manure spreaders. So that's what's
Yeah.
hard for me here, but it's a beautiful place to ride.
Living the dream, buddy. Living the dream, man. That's fantastic. What's the let's talk about the event. What's the origin story behind Michaux Gravel and why? Why Michaux State Forest?
Yeah, well, the origin story behind Michaux Gravel, um, in the area here, we've got Franklin County, which is real close to me, and they've got a great cycling group, Franklin County Cyclists, that in 2022, wanted to put on an event that could help benefit, the state forest, as well as some of the great organizations in the area. And Franklin County Cyclists have been organized since 2008, and they regularly get on a Tuesday, in the spring, hundreds of folks out across all ages and all skill levels out cycling,
Really? Wait,
primarily road,
let's
and now
back
gravel.
back that up just a bit. You said 100 to 150. Is that for just a regular weekly group ride? That's freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's really amazing. The structure that they've built up over the years and just the amount of turnout that they get. And they do a great job, you know, whether it's your first time riding a bike or, you're a seasoned racer, there's a spot for you to ride with the group, which is really cool.
How long have you been involved with them?
Uh, I've been involved as a member for the past 2 years, and then this year I've been helping out again as a volunteer
Okay.
to organize uh, the ride and race this year.
Okay. And what would you think? I mean, that's such a impactful story to get that many people in an area that's quite honestly doesn't sound like it's very large, engaged in riding a bike. What's their success? What is it? Is it location? What are they doing right? Let's share with other bike clubs for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that they do best, and they've taken this and taken it from their road riding and taken it to gravel too, is just making it accessible for everyone,
Mm,
and really helping, again, like thinking about that first time person, making it really easy for them to get out on a bike. They offer courses on how to maintain your bike, and things like that. So like starting someone from scratch, again, all the way through, and just do a great job building that community and giving a place for people to feel welcome to ride their bike.
that's awesome. That's
The
awesome.
events are really well organized. Great markings. Great. You can download a map of every route, so you're really prepared. And just again, like a great way to make it easy for folks to get out on two wheels.
Nice, nice. I tell you, that's fantastic. That really should be everybody's recipe for success, shouldn't it? That idea of making it available to all.
Yep.
That's awesome. And then you said it was 2 years ago. It was only 2 years ago that they tapped into the gravel side of the scene, right?
Yeah, yep. The first Michaux gravel was in 2022, and also that year they started doing, along with their typical routes with the Franklin County cyclists, started putting together, some gravel options, and making it easy for folks to get into and explore some of the great roads that are in Michaux.
Nice. And you sent me some notes, and you referenced that there's 130 miles of forest roads, jeep roads, climbs. That you got a little bit of everything. 130 miles. That's a massive number of mileage of unpaved roads. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Michaux is an amazing resource. If folks haven't ridden it, you got to get up here and try it. It's primarily been known as a mountain bike destination.
Okay.
Back in the early 2000s, early 2010s, Michaux had great mountain bike races. The original Iron Cross was here. There was a 3-day endurance stage race in Michaux, and it's always been a great mountain bike location. Those races and events have sort of died off over time. So it's really exciting, for our group, being able to expose folks to Michaux.
Mm.
And I know this year, excited to have some more events in Michaux overall. So it's really a great place to ride.
Is the state forest, is the management there? I guess it's a state forest. That's the Pennsylvania Department of Natural Resources?
Yep.
Are
Yeah,
they,
conservation and natural resources. Yeah.
Are they easy to work with for access for an event like this? Or I know that Pennsylvania, and I asked that question because I know that Pennsylvania as a whole is attempting to make some moves to make they understand, and they've kind of gotten their head around the fact that cycling is a low impact land use.
Yep.
So how have they been to work with?
Yeah, they're a great group to work with. It's been super smooth this year as we've been contemplating, different routes or different start points as we want to give folks, exposure to other parts of the forest. So they're a great group to work with, and really been helpful in putting on the event.
That's great. That is fantastic. And I know that not everywhere in the country has states and counties and local municipalities that get it like that. So that's such a huge help, because you don't have to fight that battle. And it's so different when somebody, instead of just saying no, I mean, you've got to listen to them, you've got to work together, but it's a yes, but maybe, instead of a no, you can't. That's a whole different conversation. So good on them. Good on them. That's fantastic. This year's event, so it's its third year, correct? 22, 23, 24. Has it grown?
Yep. Yeah, I think our first year we had about 80 folks. Last year we were in the low hundreds. And our goal this year is, and our sort of cap, talking back about working with the state park, our cap is 250 people.
Okay.
And our goal this year is, to get it as close as we can to that,
Sure.
to that cap.
Sure. And what is there anybody on the back end of the event? Some beneficiaries? Is there somebody that we're helping out here with this ride?
Sure. Yep. Yeah. And part of the reason we want to, push that registration number as much as we can is, between Franklin County Cyclists, which is a nonprofit, and we've got two beneficiaries, also nonprofits, that are really relevant to folks that like to ride bikes. So one is the Friends of Michaux State Forest. It's a chapter of the Pennsylvania Park and Forest Foundation, and works with conservation and natural resources to help maintain, just the beautiful landscape and water and trails and roads that we've got within Michaux, and making it a place for folks to really enjoy. So they're one of our beneficiaries, and then the other beneficiary is called Bulldog Bike Park. And this is a great story. One of the other volunteers who's helping organize Ralph started Bulldog Bike Park on his personal land, and has wanted to make it easy for him and his friends and their kids to enjoy mountain biking and get into mountain biking. So started the Bulldog Bike Park with 30 people coming out, and now they've grown it to over 300 people on a Thursday.
Wow.
Every Thursday in July, and they get 300 people out every time. And 72% of that is people under the age of 18. So really, a great way for kids to get into mountain biking, and we're really happy to have been able to support them last year and doing it again this year.
Is that you connected to Pickle, I guess, in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah. So not officially, but very much aligned with Ralph has coached with NICA and been involved in the pickle scene in the past, and so trying to bring that a little bit further south from where pickle typically is.
Nice. That's awesome. I that is just such an amazing thing that's just grown like crazy. We have a local club here, and it's just it's so great for kids to have a bike thing. It creates a lifelong kind of passion and hobby for a sport and a healthy endeavor. So you just can't do enough good things with that. You just literally cannot do enough good things with that. So let's talk about the routes this year. What kind of routes do you have? What distances and what are they looking like?
Yeah. So we've got a 15-mile route for kids. And again, really trying to pull on that engagement, or create that start that spark of being excited of riding a bike, and being able to explore in the forest. Runs out of Caledonia State Park, which is kind of right in the middle of the state forest. So we've got that 15-miler. We've got a short course 25 miles, a 50-miler, and then this year, we've got some folks in the area who are great cyclists, push themselves hard, and we want to also encourage others to come and really experience all the challenges of Michaux. So we've got a 100-mile expert course as well.
What elevation? I don't want to throw you a curveball. What's the elevations looking like?
Yeah, well,
typically 100 feet per mile.
Yeah, well, that is the we've hit that ratio for our 50-mile and our 100 miles both hit that. There's about 5,000 feet of climbing in the 50-miler, and over 11,000 feet in the 100-miler.
It's a big day. That's a big day.
Yep. Yeah, and the 100-miler will take you. You will get to explore, all of the best parts of Michaux. So it hits, goes as far north as Michaux goes and as far south as Michaux goes. So you get to see it all.
Wow. And now tell me, what kind of support is out there for folks? Aid stations? What's going on in that regard?
Yep. Yeah. So for the 50-miler, we'll have 2 aid stations. 1 aid station for the 25-miler, and then the 100-miler will be both a supported and sort of unsupported route. So again, two supported aid stations, and then 2 unsupported water stops along the way.
Oh, excellent! So it brings a little adventure to the game as well. I like that. I really do. I like that sort of like you have to plan your day to execute your day. And I think that that goes back to like we talk about this a lot. The roots of gravel seem to be in the Midwest, but some of the better gravels here, in my opinion, on the East Coast. But you go out to the Midwest, and there's no route markings. They may have aid stations, but that aid station could actually be you need to stop at this store and buy water kind of thing. Yep. So I kind of like that. I kind of think it brings a little bit of an adventure to the scene. So is this a race? Is there a race format, or is this just a ride? Where are we at with regards to that?
Yeah, we're trying to balance both of those things. Started out as a ride, again, wanting to make it inclusive for everyone to get involved. But we also know, I race gravel and like that competitive aspect of things.
Hmm.
So we are going to have a race format for those who wanna race it, and we'll have a podium and awards for the top three finishers. And we're going to do it for the 15 miler under 18. Again, want to
Okay.
recognize those kids
Absolutely. Yeah.
and get them excited. And then for the 50 miler and 100 miler.
Okay. Outstanding. And is it end to end timing? Is it segment timing, or is it?
Yep. Yeah. End to end timing.
Okay.
The Bulldog Bike Park, through donations over the year, they have timing mats, and so it's a legit. The Thursday throwdowns at Bulldog is legit. There's timing and rankings, and we've brought that to the
Nice.
Michaux GRVL.
Nice. It's a simple way to do it. You don't, especially using things that you already have available to you without having to have that expense of
Yep.
bringing in something else. Now, I saw in the information that you sent me, there's one other little special thing you're doing. It's something that I really think is cool. You're doing a little scavenger hunt. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Kyle, one of the volunteers for gravel, did unpaved this last year, and just really really enjoyed the scavenger hunt aspect of it. And again, just like trying to make it fun for folks, wanting them to be paying attention to the beautiful surroundings around them, and if they can find something fun, and bring it back for. We've got a good set of sponsors who are providing some things that we can give away.
What kind of things are folks looking for on the scavenger hunt, or is that giving too much away?
It's both maybe giving too much away, and we're still working on something that will really stand out for folks.
Okay, we'll just call them all Easter eggs. So keep your eye out for Easter eggs. Now, one of the details that we haven't actually covered yet is the event date. When does the event take place?
Yeah, so it's going to take place in September. It's September 14th.
Nice.
It'll be a great day. That time frame in September has been great for temperatures. So with the 100 miler, it's going to start early. We're going to probably start 6:30 a.m. So you'll get, not only you're talking about sort of planning out your day. One of the things that folks will need to plan for is how they're going to approach temperature difference.
Yeah, dark time.
So
dark time too.
Yep.
Dark time. Yeah. and we keep saying Michaux State Forest. What is the actual location so that people can kind of dial it in? All these details, we'll get to where it is on the website too, but sometimes when people hear things. So where's the actual event start?
Yeah, the event starts at Caledonia State Park.
Okay.
It's right off of Route 30, in between Chambersburg and Gettysburg. So easy to get to, no matter where you're coming from in the Mid-Atlantic.
Now, that area, where is there camping available? Are there nearby hotels? What's the option for people to stay, to sort of be ready for that early start, and then maybe to spill over to the next day after the race?
Yep. Yeah. So there's camping directly in Caledonia. Michaux is also home to 3 other state parks or sort of use areas.
Okay.
So Pine Grove Furnace is also another area with great camping, and is real close to the routes that we go through. And then Gettysburg is close by, and is a great place to stay and just also experience everything that's in and around Gettysburg. So some great options for staying nearby.
That's you can tie a little bit of history into your weekend. Make it a long weekend and tie a little bit of something else into it. Now, when does registration open?
Yeah, so we're opening up registration on February 15th, and really looking forward to folks to sign up.
Outstanding. That's release day. So if you're listening to this now, you can literally pause right here, go over to probably Bike Reg. I'm sure Bike Reg.
Yep.
Search for Michaux Gravel. You can register for the event, and then you can come back and finish the rest of this episode. So that's everybody's assignment. I understand it. Go do it now so we can fill this thing up. I think that's a great idea. And if you do that, folks, I want to hear from you. If somebody pauses this in the middle of listening to it and registers for the event, I need to know about it because I've got stickers to send your way. I want to know about it.
That'd be great.
Have you got routes? Are the routes already, are they available so people can, I know people like to look at the routes and kind of gauge whether it's an event for them and their distances. Are the routes already available?
Yep, the routes are available, and we'll have them up on the Bike Reg page. And you can check out the elevation profiles. One of the great things about Michaux is we've got some pretty steady climbs in there, so it'll be a good challenge for folks.
That was a good segue because my next question is, what do those routes look like? Are they long sustained climb, punchies, sawtooth? What's the day look like?
Yep. It's a little bit of both. Climbing out of Caledonia, you're going right into, a good sustained climb of about 3 miles, probably, 6% average gradient. Most of those, most of the climbs in that area are all about the same, some pitching up, to the 9 to 12% in parts, but mostly, a mile or two long.
Okay. So it's a sustained kind of just like you find, it feels like Pennsylvania this is what it's all about, is that long sustained, not steep, but not railroad grade at all.
Yep.
It's got some punch to it. What's the best bike setup going to look like?
Yeah, I think most of the roads that we'll be on are. I actually just rode it on Saturday. It's going to be hard pack with either no gravel on top, so hard pack dirt, or hard pack with a little bit of loose gravel on top. So I ride that right now. I've got 38 Terreno dries on there. Those are great tires for that.
Yeah.
I'd say I know you could go wider and be a little bit more comfortable. But I'd say 35 plus is kind of the minimum I'd recommend for people.
I guess it reaches a point though where it's about what kind of day you want to have. If your intent is do that 100 and do it racy, or even do that 50 and do it racy, you want something that's going to maybe beat you up a little bit more, but at the same time you're going to finish faster. And if you want that comfortable day, go a little wider. I mean, it sounds like there's not a wrong decision. It's not like is there any single track on the course at all, or is it all gravel forest road?
It's almost all gravel forest road. We were contemplating dropping some single track on there, just for a little bit more challenge on the 100-miler. But I rode that on Saturday, and I think people would get mad at us if we did that.
If people don't get mad at the event a little bit over something, then you're probably not doing it right.
Yeah. But no, we've got the backside of the race is all along some snowmobile and Jeep track. So like that's usually a little bit rougher.
Sure.
And that's where having those wider tires just makes your day a little bit more comfortable, like you said.
Yeah.
Right now, like I said, I've got those 38s on there, but I am gonna probably plus up into like a 42 for the ride itself.
I play with tire size. It seems probably too much. There's so many options and so many variables with slicks versus knobs, center files versus corner edge knobs, wider and softer, supple, more durable. There's just so many things so many variables that you can bring to the equation. And I think it does come down to that's part of the fun. It's like I'm throwing some. We were talking earlier before we started recording. I'm going to Monster Cross this weekend, and I know there's some single track there. So, and I'm looking at my 42s, which spec out at about 44, and I'm going, yeah, you're probably okay, but maybe I really want something that's got a little bit more. I'm running Pathfinders, and maybe I need a little bit more. So,
Yep.
playing with some TerraVeils that have a little more knob on them, and maybe run them a little wider and a little softer. It's so much fun. Honestly, it's such a part of the mystique of gravel. I mean, because in a road world, a road is a road is a road until you reach that crappy section that you only go through once, and then you never want to go back there again. It's kind of, it's a much different discipline, and there's, throw bike packing into it, and then all of a sudden you've got bags, and you've got that whole world of bags to play with, and even gravel cycling, we get into that too. We get into the different types of bags that you want to carry. Any shout outs you want to toss out for event sponsors or folks that make the event make it magic?
Well, I think biggest shout out is just to the folks at Franklin County Cyclists for putting this on and organizing it. In particular, Jeff Welty is one of the folks who started it originally and has continued to see it through. So nice. It's been great to get their support and just see how this has grown.
It's funny, people don't. There's so much work that goes into something. You can look at it and say we had 80 people or 100 people, but the amount and volume of work to pull that off correctly and safely, and then to grow it into 200 or 250, it's a monumental effort. And I've said it before, and I'll continue to preach this. Gravel, it's so grassroots with the events. And if you want to continue to see events like this take place, you got to support those grassroots. It's the only way. There's nobody out there getting rich off of running their gravel event. In fact, most of them have sort of, like we talked about earlier, of a beneficiary. This money's not going in somebody's pocket. This money's going to help somebody else. So it's important to support it.
Yeah, and in particular, just all the volunteer, talking about grassroots, the volunteers that make this happen. The folks that are helping to mark the course, sit at intersections to help direct riders. We've got some folks out on motorbikes who are helping to sweep. We wouldn't be able to do it without those, grassroots support folks in and around the area that are helping to make this happen.
That's great. And it comes from the club. It comes from, and it a lot of times it comes from that. Most times it comes from that place of, this is where we normally ride, and we want to share this with other people, and that's so special. You don't see that other places, I don't believe. So if people are looking to find out more information, where can they go?
Yeah, so I'd say Bike Reg is going to be the best place. We're Michaux GRVL. It's GRVL. Okay. So we're hip without the. We've got enough vowels in Michaux that we took them out of gravel.
I've got a sticker drop that's coming that's going to interest you then. In I think in a couple of months, I got a Patreon sticker that plays on that. That plays nice. Plays on it. So yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say the Bike Reg is going to be the best place. You can check the routes out there, and get links to our Instagram. We're working with a great group of folks, the Pennsylvania Dirtbags media company in the area.
Love them. Those are good people right there. Those are good people right there. They drink bad beer, but they're good people.
I agree with both of those statements.
Well, listen, I'm going to make sure that I have links in the show notes. So, folks, you don't have to dig too deep. If you're on your phone, all you got to do is open up the show notes, find the link, click it, and there it is. You'll be able to register directly. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for talking about Michaux Gravel. Thank you for getting me excited about Michaux State Forest and Michaux Gravel. I actually think that's a time of the year that's going to work for me.
Come ride.
I think that I may be actually right in the wheelhouse. So thank you so much for sharing all that, though. You want to take a few minutes and stick around for this or that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Because if you don't, I'm just going to talk to myself because no Joey. Okay. This is actually playing all what we just talked about. First one, being overtired on a ride or being undertired on a ride, meaning volume.
Oh, I would pick being overtired.
Yeah.
I like to do long events. So we're Kyle and I, who are helping to organize, we're doing the Appalachian Journey 150 in April, and we do a lot of bike packing. So
Gordon puts on a great event down there. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Floyd, have you been there? Floyd is such a cool town.
No, this will be my first time, so I'm excited.
Oh, enjoy it. Soak it all in. Soak it all in. It's really a special place. I too would choose to be overtired because I literally don't care how fast I go from one place to the next. Okay. Second item, a card game or a board game?
Card game, because you can do it in more places.
Yeah, nice answer. I'm also a card game guy. I like the simplicity of now. I like something like I have a bikepacking group that I've traveled with, and we are addicts for the game Werewolf, and everybody has their little deck of cards, and we play Werewolf. So you don't have to necessarily play cards to play a card game. So I like that. Card game is for me as well. Third item, sticker or a patch?
Neither.
Not a sticker guy, huh?
I'm not a sticker person. Don't have any stickers on my laptop. Don't put them on my car. I mean, I like a patch, but then it just sits in a drawer.
Yeah, like what do you do with it? Although Larry's like he puts all his jerseys patches all over his jacket, and it's super cool. I have friends that are also not sticker people, but I send them stickers because I tell them it's like it's not your job to put it on something you own. It's your job to put it on something else, something that somebody else owns. So go for it. So I don't know if they follow through with that or not, but I like the sticker. It doesn't require that commitment, and Joey's a sewer. He would sew things on, so he can do all that. I cannot do all that, so. I'll change
my answer to sticker. I like your idea of don't put it on your things, put it somewhere else.
Exactly. Hey, where'd the sticker come from? It's my Yeti. Stop it. So okay, last item. Cold soak oatmeal for breakfast or fire up the stove and make that oatmeal hot?
Bike packing, cold soak. Nice. It's pretty great on its own. And most of the time I'm trying not to pack a camp stove anyways.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've been on the big cold soak quick. Oh, words are hard. Cold soak trip for a while here, even at home. We've been soaking it in the fridge overnight and
it's nice just to pull it out and have it be ready already. So.
Yeah. Well, listen, Ben, thank you so much for joining me and chatting about Michaux GRVL. It's fantastic to hear about it. And anything else before we shut this thing down that you want to throw some love somebody's way?
Just want to encourage everyone to sign up and to say thanks to Kyle, Jeff, and Ralph, our co-conspirators in organizing this, for helping to make it happen.
Nice. So I'm going to throw this out one more time. If you pause the podcast here and go register and then come back and finish, I will send you stickers. So there's 2 opportunities for you as a listener to go get stickers if you pause in the middle. And I will even take the risk and roll the dice that you don't come back. That's fine. We want people to register for the event. So, folks, it is about time to shut it down for the week. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt. If you've enjoyed the podcast, maybe consider joining our Patreon family. You can get your monthly stickers and you can put them on other people's stuff. That's what we do there. If you're looking for how to get in touch with us, Joey's not here to touch him. GravelTravelDirt.com, Instagram at MidAtlanticGTD. Mid-Atlantic Gravel, Travel, and Dirt is recorded this week from right here in my bedroom closet, because when you're surrounded by clothes, it's great for sound. All the way up to, it was Newville. I almost said it, and then I paused. So Newville, Pennsylvania. Thanks for riding along. Until next time, do good, be nice, go slow, respect others. I'm waiting for Joey to say love you, bye. Love you, bye.